What's up, y'all? Welcome back to another YouTube video. My name is Esther. I'm a day trader, and today I'm going to be breaking down the charts for you and mostly on ES and NQ. We're gonna be doing a top-down analysis on NQ. Let's go start from the daily time frame. Let's look at the daily time frame on NQ. Actually, I'm gonna go look at a cleaner chart. Okay, so this is a daily on NQ, and currently, what I see here is NQ is currently on a bullish path. So it's created a higher high here, lower low, a lower high, a higher low, created a higher high, slightly higher, and then a lower high, and potentially might be breaking this high. But right now, it's currently at an equal level at the previous high. So we can be expecting some push up past this high, but allow the market do what it wants to do. But currently on the daily, I would say that NQ is currently bullish because as I have marked these lows, these are the lows that it's currently printing and it's holding. And basically whenever it tries to break a high, it gets a little bit of gets some pullback and then tries again and currently is seeing some pullback. So the daily looks bullish because it's creating higher lows. Let's keep that in mind. The 4-hour, let's go to the 4-hour here. The 4-hour is bullish as well. So let's take a look. Now we ended December bearish, so we created lower lows, lower high, lower lows, lower high, lower lows, and over here we came and broke structure. We broke basically we had a break of structure here, came back and corrected and created a new break of structure. So basically this is another impulsive move above this high. We had another break of structure here, but the support failed to hold, and now then we created another support, a break of structure to the downside, and basically price recovered instantly without really any follow through to the downside. So price basically came all the way up to the high, but the 4-hour failed to break this high over here, and now we're getting some pullback. So we're getting some pullback on the 4-hour. However, it was bullish as of the close on Friday. So let's look at the 1-hour. The 1-hour time frame looks bullish. So I say this because price did, although price pulled back here, created a higher low, a lower high, created a higher low, a lower high, and then a higher low, and broke this structure over here, created a higher high, and then a higher low, and then came over here, broke this structure here, created a higher high, and now it is correcting. So potentially we could see some really significant correction in NQ coming into the market. So we could see some correction into this supply zone. So I would say from this supply zone over here, we could see some correction in this area because this is where price broke out of, and we could see some retest in this area here. So coming into the market, I would be expecting some correction to the downside. Doesn't mean that price is bearish, but I would expect price to correct. If we want to use our fibs, we could say we could actually let's use from this low over here to this high, and then we could see some correction somewhere in this area. We could keep an eye in this area for correction, and then my view is that price could potentially tap this demand zone over here and then resume its bullish continuation. However, I would not be taking longs yet until price shows that it can break above this swing high that we did break out of. So remember, this is the swing high that created this bull that we broke out, that created this bullish impulsive move or bullish break of structure. So this is the high that was broken, and we haven't really gotten a correction, which currently we're going to see some correction coming into the Asia market and London market as well. So we could be expecting some a bearish correction into this zone here for a continuation back above. So coming into the market, I would be looking for buys when price gets back above this level. I'm gonna do this box. So when price gets back above, so when price corrects, if it corrects to this point, fine. If it wants to make a deeper correction, that's great. But I would not be buying when price is underneath this level because there is potential to for price to sell back down. I would only buy when price gets back above the swing high for another push to the upside and basically targeting this high over here. So that's my game plan coming into the market for NQ. And I'm gonna look for that break of structure or bearish flip this way. So when price pulls back down, comes into our zone, pulls back, I'm gonna be looking for a break of structure. So basically something like this, and then confirmation by creating a higher low. And then when price gets back above my swing high over here, then I would take a buy targeting the top. So that's what I'll be looking for coming to the market here. Correction and then continuation. Like I said, the correction might not be that deep. The correction might just, it can get to wherever point it wants to go, but we're gonna let the market do its thing. But now I am definitely expecting some correction in the market before looking for buys. So that is my analysis on NQ. Basically ES is the same. So what happened in ES? Let's take a look here. Okay, so let's go back a few days ago. So as we can see on ES here, ES made a bullish indication here, created a high, pulled back, and continued. And then above the swing high, we created another indication. We pulled back, continued, but we couldn't continue the bullish move, and so we broke structure below this swing low. We created a bearish indication here, and then followed by a bullish correction. So price was correcting by creating higher highs and higher lows. And then when price got back to this, so basically we're not bearish anymore because price wasn't breaking this the previous lows that it's creating. So that was a sign that the correction isn't over yet, and this could flip into a bullish indication, like a bullish move. So when price got back above here, we saw the same push that created this indication. So price basically pushed above here, and then above the swing high, price created an indication. So price has made indications on the 1 hour time frame on ES. Let's go take a look at the 4 hour. So 4 hour also is very bullish on ES because price basically, let's say price made a low here, lower high, lower low, broke structure here, created a higher high, came back, and then above here was bullish, so it created another bullish indication from here to here, pulled back, very shallow pullback, and then came over here and broke this high and then created another bullish indication above this high and above this high. Now price corrected, broke structure, like this correction here, and then price returned to that place where it broke structure, tried to sell, but sellers failed to follow through. There was not a lot of pressure. Buyers took over and basically broke the structure here. So this was a sign of bullishness. So once we broke this high here, we're now looking for a correction to potentially continue higher. Now this is what I think about ES. ES is bullish, basically both bullish in my opinion. The 4 hour, the 1 hour is also 1 hour right now is still bullish, but is currently pulling back. Some pullbacks here, which should be a good opportunity to buy. However, my invalidation point would be this swing low over here. this where I marked this red line. It's the invalidation point where if price breaks under this point, then we're considered to be bearish. But as long as this swing low holds, we can still be looking for some deep opportunities to buy. However, I would also keep an eye on this low here that we created last week, because we did try and tap this low multiple times. So I will keep an eye on this low right here. This will also be a break of structure if price comes back and fails below, fails to close above. So if price fails to close above this low, we could see some push down to this swing point here on ES. Same thing as NQ. This is my invalidation point on NQ right here. So basically, if price dips all the way back down here, breaks this significant low that we created, we tapped multiple times, as you can see, price held. But if we break this low, we could see some potential downward move to this is my first target. However, yeah. However, we still look to be bullish unless market flips. Of course, market is going to do what it wants to do, but I'm gonna be bullish until I see that price is invalidating my bullish zone. So that's it for NQ and ES. And I also wanted to do something. I wanted to show you some super solid samples of my strategy that I used to make money in the market last week. It's super simple. You can follow it. It's basically using price action to execute. And I will show you some examples here. So this was the 7th of January. Let's go back here. Let's see what I did. Let's go to 1 hour. So usually I get my buys from the 1 hour time frame, and I execute on a smaller time frame, like the 5-minute time frame or the 2-minute time frame. However, whichever one is giving me more clear structure is what I execute on. So coming into this day, we made over here, the previous day we made a bullish indication, corrected and continued, made another indication, corrected, and then once we corrected over here, let me just put this here because I want you to see how using price action and market structure can help you spot when price is starting to flip from bearish to bullish. So once the correction is in progress, basically we're not doing anything because we want to take a continuation, and we're looking to take continuations above the swing high, because this is the swing high that actually the price broke out of to create another indication. So let's mark the swing high here. So now once price broke above the swing high, we waited for correction, and then once price corrected, we're now coming into the market New York session. We are looking for a continuation to our target point, which is this high over here. So this is a target. Now let's go look at the 15 minutes and see what structure is building. So now this is the correction, like I said, and now we're looking for price to flip bullish above the swing high to continue the bullish move up. So now we're in the 15-minute time frame, because again, price action is very clear on the 15-minute time frame in this case. And as if we go to the 5 minutes, it wasn't as smooth as I wanted it to be. So I always toggle between the 5 and the 15 minutes. The 15 minutes is way clearer. So I stopped to the 15-minute time frame. And as you can see, when the correction was over, you can see that we had a break of structure. So basically this price over here broke above this high. So that's basically the first sign that price is starting to flip bullish. So now I wait, because we're not buying at the impulsive move. We're basically not buying when price is when the price is creating a bullish indication or a break of structure. We are waiting for price to come back and create take out some kind of liquidity or pull back to some certain levels before taking buys. So we waited for price to make that bullish indication. We're waiting. We're still not in yet. We can clearly see price has broken this swing high. We're waiting for price to come back, retest, and continue the move. So in this case, it's okay to now switch to a 5-minute time frame in order to get a more precise entry. Now let's go here. As you can see, even right from the very bottom, you could spot the first move, but it wasn't as clear as it was on the 15 minutes. So let's continue here. Price pushed up, still created that break of structure, as you can see, but we're not chasing, we're still sitting on our hands. Now price comes back and pulls back into this zone. Now some people would like to use the fib to measure the distance of the pullback to kind of gauge how deep the pullback would be, but you can never tell if it wants to pull back to the 50, to the 618, to the 38. You can really never tell. But what we do here is we would wait for price to get back above the swing high for a 5-minute candle, at least to close with volume above this swing high before we take buys, because anything underneath this swing high over here can cause some bearish movement down, can cause some selling pressure. So we're waiting for price to show reverse with some bullish candles to go long. So now we're waiting. Now price is giving us that sign that it wants to go. Now price is broken above the swing high. This is our opportunity to go long at the close of the 5-minute candle, and our stop of course would be here at the bottom of our no trade zone here, because this is our no trade zone. So our stop is going to be at the bottom. We can switch to the higher time frame and put our take profit somewhere above here or here. This is a 1.6 risk to reward, and then let price play out. So this is what happens. Price just kept creating structure, and boom, went to our TP, even went past and created another bullish indication above the swing high. So that's basically how you get into a trade using market structure price analysis. There is simply no added confidence. It's just bare bones on trading without any extra indicators. We're just trading actual price movements and watching behaviors of price. Again, we're using the higher time frame as to create our bias, and then we're flipping into a smaller time frame for executions. So yeah, this is all what I have to show you today. And basically I wanted to point out that don't chase the markets. Allow your system and process to keep you in the trade. In this case, we just let the process play out. We trusted in our system. We've done our analysis on the higher time frame. We're waiting for price to switch direction. Once we got that switch, the break of structure, we trusted our process. We allowed price to come down and tap us in. We're not buying at the highs. We're buying down at the demand zone over here. Once price got back above the swing high, of course, there's potential for buyers to step into the market again. So now we buy above, and we're riding this all the way to the impulsive move at the top. So that's how you trade market structure. It's a very simple process, and it basically trading supply and demand. When I tell you the system works, all you just have to do is follow it, right? So also remember, simplicity is key. Keep it simple. The moment you're starting to add too many pins is a process you start, is the time you start to complicate the process. So again, follow the trend. The trend is your friend, and good luck. Don't forget to follow me, subscribe to my channel for more daily updates and analysis. Thank you.